My boss's son was putting kids in the hospital. Reporting him cost me everything. I worked as a personal trainer at Apex Fitness, where the owner's son, Tate, helped with teenage clients. I started noticing the boys changing unnaturally fast with horrible acne and aggression. One morning, I caught Tate injecting something into a 15-year-old kid's arm. The kid was handing him a stack of cash. I stood there frozen in the doorway. Tate looked up and saw me. He pulled the needle out fast and said, "This isn't what it looks like." I said, "It looks like you're injecting a minor with something and taking money for it." He stuffed the syringe in his pocket and said it was just B12 vitamins and the kid's parents knew about it. The kid nodded along, looking absolutely terrified. I said, "Then you won't mind if I talk to his parents about it?" Tate's face went completely red and he said, "You need to mind your own business." I went straight to the owner and told him what I saw. He was Tate's dad, so I figured he'd want to know his son was doing something dangerous. He sat behind his desk and listened to my whole story, then said, "Tate would never do something like that. You must have misunderstood what you saw." I said, "I saw a needle going into a kid's arm and money changing hands. There's no misunderstanding that." He leaned back in his chair and said, "My son helps these kids with their supplement regimens. Their parents pay him for nutritional coaching. You're making a very serious accusation with no actual proof." I said, "Then let me file an incident report so we have it documented." He said, "Absolutely not," and told me to get back to work immediately. I started paying closer attention after that. I watched the boys who trained with Tate. They were getting bigger, but also getting visibly sick. One kid told me he hadn't slept more than 2 hours a night in weeks. Another said his heart raced constantly, even when he was sitting still. A third kid's hands wouldn't stop shaking during our training sessions. I tried talking to their parents in the parking lot. One mom said, "Tate's been amazing for my son's confidence. He finally made the varsity football team." I said, "Has your son been to a doctor recently? Some of these physical changes seem really concerning to me." She looked offended and said her son was just working hard and eating right. The owner called me into his office the next day. He said multiple parents had complained that I was questioning their parenting and spreading malicious rumors about Tate. He told me if I brought this up one more time, I'd be fired immediately. I stopped saying anything out loud, but I started documenting everything I could. I took photos of the kids' physical changes over weeks, showing the acne and muscle gain. I recorded conversations where they talked about cycles and injections. I found empty vials in the locker room trash with the labels torn off. Then one of the boys collapsed during a training session, just fell off the treadmill mid-run. His heart was beating so fast and irregularly, I could see it pounding through his shirt. The ambulance came and took him away. He was 16 years old and having a cardiac event. The doctor said his testosterone levels were dangerously high, and his liver enzymes were so elevated they were shocked he was still conscious. That's when I went to the police. I brought all my evidence with me. Photos, recordings, the empty vials I'd collected from the trash. I told them everything I'd seen over the past 3 months. They said they'd open an investigation. The owner found out I'd gone to the police within 2 days. He fired me immediately. He said I was creating a hostile work environment and making false allegations against his family. Then he started calling other gym owners in town and telling them I was mentally unstable and had been trying to sabotage his business because I was jealous of Tate's success with clients. Nobody would hire me after that. My reputation in the fitness community was completely destroyed, but I also filed a report with the state health department. They took doping minors very seriously. They started their own investigation independent of the police. Tate's parents hired an expensive lawyer who sent me a letter threatening to sue me for defamation. The letter said I was a disgruntled employee spreading lies to destroy an innocent family. Meanwhile, more kids started having serious problems. Another boy developed cystic acne so severe his face was bleeding. A kid had rage episodes so bad his parents thought he was possessed. A girl who'd been training with Tate started growing facial hair and her voice dropped an octave. Her parents finally took her to an endocrinologist who confirmed someone had been giving her male hormones. That's when other parents started believing me. 3 families went to the police together. The health department got a warrant and searched the gym. They found Tate's stash hidden in a storage room behind old equipment. Vials of testosterone, syringes, needles, everything organized in boxes. They also found his client list with names and detailed payment records. He'd been selling to over 20 kids for almost a full year. The health department shut down Apex Fitness permanently, and Tate was arrested on multiple felony charges. But I lost my career anyway because every gym in the area thought I was a troublemaker who destroyed a family business.